Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something really cool, another Crystal 101 video. Today I'm going to give you 10 ways to cleanse your crystals. These are some of my favorite ways. I don't do every single one of these just because they're not for me, but I will tell you which ones I love to use. So let's just dive into it. These are super easy to do, and a lot of times you can just leave your crystals in the way that I tell you, and then you can come back and they'll be cleansed. The first way that I love, I usually do this on a day-to-day basis, but the first way is to use sunlight. A lot of times I always have my windows open in my room, just because it doesn't get a lot of sunlight actually, but I like to put them in the windowsill. You can place them outside. Now, just disclaimer, some crystals such as amethyst and citrine can actually lose their color a little bit in the sun. So the second way that you can cleanse your crystals is the opposite of sunlight, which is the moonlight. This is one of my favorite ways to cleanse crystals, just because I know some of them can lose their color in bright sunlight. I like to use moonlight instead. I usually like to do this on a full moon where the moonlight is the most bright. There's a place right outside my house on a deck that I usually like to do that, or I'll leave the window blinds open where I know the moonlight will come in and then it will shine upon the crystals I have. If you don't want to put them outside, such as it's like raining or it's snowing, whatever time of year it is, or you just don't want the elements to affect your crystals. The third way that I'm going to tell you guys that you can cleanse your crystals is to use other crystals. As I waved in the beginning of this video is this piece of selenite. This is a pretty large piece. Selenite is actually like really cheap. So what you can do is you just can take your crystal and you can just comb over it, or just go around like this and just cleanse the energy around it. And then you can just do yourself real quick too, you know. Just cleanse your aura, you know how it is. So that is a perfect way to do that. Or I'll show you, you can lay the crystals on the selenite. Usually do it overnight, just so, because this, I feel like if you need a quick fix, you can just comb over it. If you want to cleanse more of your crystals, you can get a larger piece like this and then just lay the crystals on top. So the fourth way that you can do crystal cleansing is something my aunt likes to do, especially when we first started getting into crystals, especially with her raw pieces of crystal, such as this rose quartz that isn't tumbled, like maybe this little bumblebee jasper would be, is to just get like a pan, just some sort of container that you can use that you're not using at the moment, and then you can just put salt in it. So yes, salt is another way that you can cleanse your crystals. I usually don't like to give them salt baths just because they can deteriorate the crystal, especially softer ones like this. But if you just lay them upon the salt, then it can absorb that negative energy and it's not too abrasive where it's rubbing against the crystal. The fifth way that I have for you guys is just to if you really want your crystal to be grounded, if it's a grounding crystal, you can place it outside in some dirt, or you could put it in with some of your planters like I have. So I kind of showed you this in my Taurus crystal video, but I also like to put little crystals in my plants. He is thriving since I put these in here, and in addition to the other care that your plants get. But if you want to cleanse your crystals, you can just place them from the place which they came, which is the ground. So the sixth way that I have for you all is water. If you want to take a crystal and run it over some water, you just need to keep in mind that some crystals are not as hard as others and they can deteriorate in water. Some examples are angelite and the selenite, which I told you all, but you don't need to cleanse selenite, so you should just stay away from cleansing this little guy. He doesn't need it. You need to look up their hardness. You can just Google what is aragonite's hardness on the Mohs scale. It's MOHS, and I believe if it's under 5, then you should probably not place it or submerge it in water, especially salt water, because it will deteriorate the crystal. You can also use rainwater. I've never done this before. It's actually raining today, but if you really just wanted to cleanse them, if you had a bunch of crystals all at once, you just place them outside in the water. I use other ways to cleanse my crystals instead. The 7th way that I have for you all to cleanse your crystals is to use sage. So you can just take your sage.
You can slide her up here.
I know this one is red. It's typically, I think it's just dyed. And then you can just take your sage and then just kind of smoke it around a crystal. I think sage is a good way to do it. Like if you have a lot of crystals like I do, I just kind of sage my whole room where most of my crystals are and just cleanse them like this. And then you're also cleansing your space as well, so they aren't soaking in that energy. The 8th way, this is, I've never actually tried this, but I've done it upon myself, and that's using sounds to cleanse your crystals. So if you have a tuning fork, I don't own a tuning fork, or a singing bowl, use that to cleanse your crystals as well. I have an idea where I want to just look up some crystal soothing like meditation sounds and then put it on my speaker and in my room, and then just cleanse my whole room. So I think that would work. As long as you set your intentions right, it should be fine. But if you have a singing bowl or a tuning fork or something like that and you want to cleanse your crystals, I think that would be a really good way. If you have a lot of crystals like I do, you can just do the whole area. Okay, so the 9th way I have for you all is to use a candle. If you light your candle, set an intention, of course. I think any color would work. White should be preferable, but if you don't have a white candle, or even a candle designated just for, you know, witchy reasons, you can just use any candle as long as you set it with, you light the candle and set an intention to cleanse your crystal. Just wave the crystal over the flame, setting the intention to cleanse it. Okay, and the 10th way I have for you all, we're almost
Almost at the end here.
is visualization. I've never personally done this because I like to use sage or water, sunlight, or moonlight. Those are my personal favorites to use. Good way to like cleanse it though is using that visualization. I like to do this meditation with my mom. I'll link it down below because I really like it, but it can really get you in tune with your crystals. And you just take it in your hand and you just visualize white light surrounding it, and you can just, again, maybe even be in a more meditative state where you go through and you cleanse the crystal with your own mind. Your mind is very powerful, so you can just visualize any negative energy that it might have accumulated over its time being with you out of the crystal, and then just evoking that white light in, and then just going into the crystal visually to manifest positive energy coming from it. So that was a really quick video. I just wanted to give you guys some ways to cleanse your crystals if you're new to collecting. I've been collecting for about 3 years now, and I have tons. So if you want to see a collection video, then let me know. I really want to do that. My most popular videos on my channel anyway are the ones I do tarot hauls and things like that. So if you want to get into crystal collecting, my aunt does have a shop, and I'll link it down below. It's readwriteandrock.com. If you want to DM her on her socials, she's always responsive. And she gives, she's been giving entire like collection tours on her Instagram and YouTube channel. So again, if you want to get into crystals, that might be a good place to buy besides any of your local stores as well. So if you have any other suggestions for videos for me, let me know down below. Otherwise, I will see you all on my live tarot readings or any other kind of crystal videos you want to see. So I'll see you all next time.